Northlands. My name is Josh Adams, and my family and I have been attending Northlands for a couple of years now. I'm going to share an encounter I had with God right there at Northlands in a recent service. Now, before I jump into that, I think it's worth noting, because maybe there are some others out there who are like me on this, that all this time I've been seeing testimonies at Northlands, and honestly, I never thought I'd be making one. Now, it's not because I've been unwilling. It's just that my experience with God usually isn't quite like what I typically hear in these testimonies. And truthfully, when I experienced what I'm about to describe to you, I initially still didn't expect to share it like this, because this experience was about God saying just 3 words to me. It wasn't about a promise God made or fulfilled. It wasn't about a long-sought answer to prayer. It wasn't about something God did in the world. It wasn't like those types of testimonies. But it was equally full of God's power. And when I realized that, I knew I needed to share it. So let me set it up with some background here. My work situation has been challenging of late. There's just so very much I'm being asked to do. And I've been feeling overwhelmed and honestly unsuccessful. And this situation had really been weighing heavily on me. And then recently here at Northlands, after Tyler delivered an awesome message, the band came out and led us in song. And during that, I asked God a question. Now, I asked it spontaneously. There was no forethought. I only even realized I was asking it as it happened. And God's response was immediate. It was simultaneous with the question. It wasn't a back and forth. His response was literally in the same instant as the question, as really as if they were one. I asked, "What should I do now, God?" And he said, "Connector, coordinator, facilitator." And in my mind, I went, "Oh." See, these are the words that I use to describe who I am, who God has made me to be. But remember, that's not what I asked God about. I asked him what I should do. He didn't speak to that. He didn't use action words, verbs. He used nouns, descriptors. What God spoke to was my identity. And I understood the point that he is more concerned with who I am than what I do. And I realized that there had been a question in me that I hadn't even recognized. What is wrong with me? I was actually asking myself that question without really realizing it. Now, why is some of this stuff at work such a struggle? And what I realized is that achievement and attainment, and these can be absolutely great things, but they're just not the things that fire me up. What fires me up is being a connector, a coordinator, a facilitator. And not only is this not something that's wrong with me, it's exactly how God made me. And look, that doesn't in and of itself change circumstances around my work, but what it has done and what it does do is it provides me with encouragement and perspective, and those things have definitely helped me to handle the work circumstances in the time since I had this experience. It's really reduced my stress tremendously. And I hope that for you, hearing this testimony can provide some level of encouragement and perspective as well. And maybe I can, through this, be in some way a connector, a coordinator, and a facilitator for God and you.